Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we got Glow Gang versus OTF, the beef in O Block. I just reacted to Hip Hop Daily, rappers ready for ops. So I saw this one, I was like, fuck it, we gotta do this shit too. This shit look fire. And yeah, let's get it. Also, Drake's new album just dropped. Go listen to that shit.
Chicago, between the BDs and the GDs, is well documented.
BDs
but only
and
real
GDs.
fans of Chicago drill know about the war in O Block that involves Chief Keef's Glow Gang and Lil Durk's OTF. Let's take a closer look at this beef. Chief Keef and Lil Durk are the two biggest rappers to emerge from the Chicago drill scene in the early 2010s. Even though they grew up together and were affiliated with some of the same people, the two are rarely seen together and haven't collaborated as much as you would expect. This is because around the time that they were both blowing up, they had a falling out after Durk was arrested and Keef refused to pay his bail. Both Chief Keef and Durk grew up
I remember that shit, bro. I remember.
around the same area on the south side. Keef grew up in the infamous...
And I ain't finna take sides or nothing like that. Obviously I fuck with Durk. I mean, I fuck with Sosa too, but personally, Sosa, if I'm not mistaken, Sosa already blew up. Like he had a little bit of money like that, and so I'm pretty sure. I don't know about Durk and all that, but personally, me, if I was in Sosa's situation, I'm bailing any of my niggas out for sure. Especially, you know what I'm saying. Especially if I had some shit that I had to do with it, you know what I'm saying? But even if I didn't, you know what I'm saying? If I had money like that, I would definitely...
O Block on the 6400 block of South King Drive. Durk grew up nearby in the Inglewood neighborhood and even spent some time living in Parkway Gardens. They're both affiliated with the 300 set of the Black Disciples, but Durk also has his own gang called OTF, or Only the Family, and Keef has his own called GBE, or Glory Boys Entertainment. They were all cool with each other early on and would collaborate on tracks together. But all that would change in the summer of 2013 when Lil Durk would get arrested on a gun charge. On June 5th, 2013, the Chicago police got an anonymous tip that there was a man with a loaded gun walking around the area. They showed up to the 7200 block of South Green Street in the south side and found Lil Durk standing beside his car. When police approached him, they claimed that they saw him throw a loaded .40 caliber handgun into his Hyundai Sonata. Durk was then arrested and charged with unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. He had been caught with a gun once before in 2011.
So yeah, that nigga who's sending that anonymous tip, you one risky motherfucker, man.
Sentenced to 3 months in jail, which was his first felony. So when Durk was arrested again, just 2 years later, the charges would be even worse, and Durk was held on a $100,000 bond. Even though Durk had just signed a deal with Def Jam, he was still early in his career. He would need $10,000 to be able to post the bond, and didn't have the cash at the time. So he reached out to Keef for help, but for whatever reason, Keef didn't give him the money. Fans also noticed that while all the other notable BDs like Lil Reese, Fredo Santana, LA Capone, and Rondo No. 9 tweeted something in support of Lil Durk when he got arrested, Chief Keef stayed silent. Instead, Chief would tweet OTG, hashtag only the glow. This was clearly a shot at Durk, as his label and rap group is known as OTF.
Chief whack for that, man. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what was going on, but if there wasn't any no friction, no nothing, no reason, like they.
And he took this to mean that Keef wasn't rocking with Durk because he wasn't GBE, and therefore he wasn't responsible for what happened to him. Durk
That's lame as fuck.
Bail, but it would take over a month.
Lame
It's
as
rumored
fuck.
that Durk had a rough time in Cook County because of his affiliations and got beat up pretty badly, but he would eventually end up getting out in July 2013. After being released, Durk would tweet, "I'm back. Did you miss me or you ain't care? I'm free." These are lyrics to Keef's first day out freestyle, and many assume that he was taking a shot at the rapper for failing to pay his bail. Keef would just double down on his earlier stance and tweeted, OTG. This would get under Durk.
Especially, and I want to say that's even more fucked up by Sosa, especially in the fact that fucking, like, if you've been in prison or you've been in jail before, bro, like, you know that it ain't a happy place in there. That ain't a place you want to go, especially if you want to ops territory. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta be real fucked up to not pay a nigga. Like, someone who's your nigga, you in the same gang with, just because you're not in the same clique. He's 300, you Glow Gang. You know what I'm saying? It's petty as fuck.
Durk's skin as he let off a wild Twitter rant that exposed the beef to the entire world. First, he shouted out Lil Reese and Fredo Santana for being 100 and not hashtag Fufu. Clearly, throwing more shade at Keith, who was Fredo's cousin and homies with Lil Reese. He also tells Keith directly that he would have been killed if it weren't for 300. It's not clear if he's talking about a particular situation or if he's just saying that Keith wouldn't have survived in the South Side without his boys, but he had beef with his former friend. He kept going, tweeting, all the money, but you can't go get hashtag D Rose. LOL, bad enough he on your ass already. D Rose was one of O Block's main shooters and was close to both Keith and Dirk. Keith has mentioned him in several songs, and D Rose was considered a legend in Chicago for the work he put in on the streets. But he got locked up in 2012 and didn't get out until 2014. So Dirk was throwing shade at Keith for giving him props in the music, but then not helping him post bail. Especially because at that time, Keith was one of the biggest rappers in the world. He also followed up by tweeting, if you squad, then why you ain't get T Slick or D Rose? You got a bigger deal, right? Hashtag Fufu. T Slick was another street legend in Chicago who grew up with Keith and Fredo. He was arrested for aggravated discharge of a firearm, and it's been rumored that he was either protecting Keith at the time, or he took the charge so he wouldn't have to go to jail. To this day, Keith's profile picture on Twitter is T Slick's mugshot, which proves that Keith clearly has some loyalty toward him. But according to Dirk, Keith turned his back on both D Rose and T Slick after he got rich and famous, even though they had his back growing up. He also told Keith he couldn't return to his own neighborhood, tweeting, where are you gonna spend it? Because you can't come around here with it. Finally, Dirk finishes his rant by saying, warning.
Yeah, that's, like I said, I don't pick sides because I don't know the true shit behind any of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if there's more shit, that Sosa wasn't just doing this shit for a reason, but it's a tough situation because it's like, you know, when you get up and you get money, you want to get up out the hood, you want to, you know, you can't take everybody with you, right? Like, you can't take every single nigga, but the way it was looking, bro, those niggas were like really some real like cold, like not some real like real niggas to Chief and to Dirk, you know what I'm saying? Like they were solid with him and they like were good friends. So the fact, I don't know, it's just kind of weird, man.
I'm not hashtag Soldier Boy. This shit can get ugly. If this were 2021, Soldier probably would have jumped into the middle of this beef for the free promotion.
Facts.
A different time.
Soldier ain't about that shit.
Didn't want any more problems with rappers from Chicago.
Fuck
Early
no.
on in his career, Keith had ties to Soldier Boy. At one point, it was even rumored that Keith might sign to his SODMG label.
Now, what's your future projects? What you got in store for the people? Oh, you see, you signed with him? Oh, that's what's happening, man.
But not long before the Lil
God
Durk
bless
beef
you,
popped
didn't.
off, Keith and Soldier would have a falling out after Keith's homie Ball Out allegedly robbed Soldier of his prized Jesus piece. Keith responded to Durk's rant by tweeting, just bought a 2013 four-wheeler for $10,000. $10,000, of course, was the exact amount of Durk's bail. He would also tweet, I'm nothing else, I am O-Block, and can't believe done for the twit. That's crazy. Know damn well I know you just like you know me. Goofy ass used to be Brick. What he meant is that Dirk can't ban him from O-Block because it's his neighborhood and that he can't believe the rapper is back.
Yeah, my ass, bro. I mean, listen, I'm not saying Dirk can ban Sosa from O-Block, and I ain't saying Sosa can ban Dirk, but I think they both realize to an extent that there's niggas there that don't like him regardless, and Sosa hasn't been back to Chicago in fucking years.
Battling on Twitter when they both know what each other is capable of doing. King Von later
At least haven't seen him in Chicago in years. I don't know.
Keith and OTF. He explained that it started before Dirk even got locked up. Keith refused to pay the bail for another dude from O-Block named Trey 5, who was allegedly Von's brother. They were trying to raise money for his bail, which was $25,000. They already had about $18,000, so all they needed was an extra $7,500. They called Sosa to see if he could help out. He said he just spent $7,500 on shoes, so of course he could help. But when they called him again a week later, he kept telling them he had it, but never actually came through and bailed him out.
Saying for the lies, say you don't get some money from my homie Vaughn, right? Like say we call him, when we ask him money and shit, he say he gonna give it to him, right? So we say our homie booked the shit, his bond 25,000. We got 18,000, we need 75 more hundred, right? So the said, he said, oh yeah, that's all y'all need. Ooh. I just put that shit on shoes. Ooh. Alright, right. Why you say it like that though? Now we call him again like a week later or something. Then what's up with that money, gang? Like, oh, you know, we trying to get folks out.
Vaughn.
Yeah, how much I need? We need 7,500 and shit. Ooh. This is a minute ago.
I cannot turn on.
So now I get that. Folks get that. He said, yeah, 7,500. I just do that shit in the club and shit. Ooh. So I'm gonna see folks. I'm gonna take folks' chain off this type of shit. I'm gonna take folks' shit. To go get the bomb money.
In May of 2013, GBE, OTF, and another set called Mubu that's affiliated with rapper King Louie had a joint concert. Some OTF affiliates decided to jump Keith for refusing to give up the $7,500 for Trey 5's bail, even though he recently signed a $6 million deal with Interscope. During the fight, Keith's homie Ball Out ended up getting his chain snatched, although the rumors are that it wasn't even his chain. It was the Jesus piece he snatched from Soulja Boy. Backstage, they cornered Dirk because they believe he initiated the fight. Lil Reese even choked Lil Durk for getting Ball Out's chain snatched.
Nah, I been knew you was going on with her. I was right there when you choked Dirk. You telling me I don't know what's going on.
Then, Dirk would get locked up for the gun charge about a week later. At this time, the beef between O Block and OTF was still...
Well, honestly, bro, I ain't even gonna say. If I'm in that situation and a nigga say he's gonna pay for my brother's bond, right? Yeah, he just spent $7,500 on shoes, $7,500 in the club, and then he still don't want to. After he said he was going, you know what I'm saying? And then he's supposed to be one of us type shit, and he don't do it. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Why they jumping for that?
Still small, which is why he reached out to Keith to help pay his bail. But Keith was probably still mad that Dirk's people tried to jump him, so he refused to pay the bond. But Dirk probably felt like their relationship was stronger than that and started to question Keith's loyalty after he got the same treatment as Trey 5 and D Rose. After the Twitter fight, the beef died down for a while. Apparently, they spoke on the phone and came to an understanding. It still seemed like there was tension, but it wasn't going to resort to violence. But not long after supposedly squashing the beef, Lil Durk would post a track list to his upcoming album with the caption, "My fave song off #Sign to the Streets." The song that was highlighted was called OTF Chief Keef Diss. This diss reignited the beef on Twitter, and Durk and Sosa would continue going back and forth. Then, Keef would repost the cover to Chirac to LA, a Lil Durk diss track by The Game and Tyga. After that, Keef did a song with Tyga, who Durk was beefing with at the time. So Durk responded by doing a track with the Migos, who Keef and GBE were beefing with. Durk even brought the Migos to O Block to shoot a video, which was clearly meant to get at Keef. The beef would reach a climax after a couple of O Block goons allegedly broke into a house being rented by Keef and snatched his chain. In late March 2014, Sosa was set to appear in court for one of the legal situations.
How many times has this nigga Sosa or his homies got this chain snatched? Damn!
He was facing. While he was in court, a crew of dudes from O Block, including Boss Top and
those fucking jeans are too tight, my boy. Too fucking tight.
OJ, as well as a few members of another BD set called THF, broke into a home that was being rented by Keef and his former manager. They ransacked the house and stole tons of valuables, including designer clothes and sneakers. Keef's former manager, Brandon Zerer, was in the home at the time and called 911. Keef would later call him a soft-ass on Twitter for calling the cops. Keef showed up while they were still home, which is when Boss Top allegedly snatched his signature Johnny Dang chain, and OJ snatched a chain from GBE Capo. A shootout followed, and a 33-year-old named Terrence Smith was non-fatally injured. Boss Top...
Dude, I was about to say, there's got to be a shootout, bro. If there's this many chains getting snatched, there's got to be someone shooting back. Holy shit.
When the other BDs then stole Keef's car and fled the scene. Keef brought Terrence Smith to the hospital but refused to cooperate with police, so no arrests were made.
Right.
A police document from the Gang Enforcement Division was released after the shooting and stated that the Black Disciples were having an internal conflict. The crazy thing is that before this all went down, Keef and Boss Top were close. Keef even gifted Boss Top a Burberry shirt that he was known to wear everywhere, so much that Mubu Crump would even...
I remember this shit. This nigga wore that shirt everywhere, bro.
And put out a video clowning him for it.
Billy, why every time we see you out here, you got this same Burberry
Social get the shirt. I never take the shirt off. Billy, Why you gonna take the shirt off? Billy still get inside them take the shirt off. Billy. Billy.
But money and fame can turn even the closest friends against each other, and it seems like Boss Top sided with Lil Durk for the war in O Block. That same day, Keith and Boss Top would go back and forth on Twitter, with Keith tweeting, "I clothed you, B, and put money in your limp ball pockets. And I ain't nothing like these, but we look alike. Way higher form and fashion, and I'm loyal. I was giving little dirty folks in them clothes." He also dropped a wild bombshell, tweeting, "Folks, they stole KK clothes out her room. Detergent, deodorant, and all on Bloods. They stretched that shit, alright." KK is Keith's daughter, and in this tweet, he's telling the world that they didn't just take adult designer clothes, they took his 3-year-old daughter's clothes and random household items like deodorant and detergent. Keith even called out Boss Top by name, along with his former producer, Young Chop. Boss Top responded by posting a picture of a gun on IG with the caption, "GBE," and told Keith to come to the hood that you say you from. He would also later release a music video where he can be seen flexing with Keith's stolen chain. Plus, not long after that, Durk would drop a video with another Chirac Savage, THF Bezu, dancing around with Capo's stolen chain, while Keith's Close That Door video plays in the background. Keith would respond to the video by saying, "I would say f*** OD, but I'm from there. That's my boy."
Who would say OD, but that's my boy. You mean? I'm from there. O Block.
OD, of course, refers to OD Perry, the dead BD that O Block is named after. OD is allegedly Boss Top's cousin, but also a well-respected dude from the neighborhood, which is why Keith said he would say it, but it doesn't go as far as actually doing it. Several BDs from O Block had to check Keith for taking it too far, and Sosa didn't respond after that. But surprisingly, after that, things started to cool down. Keith finally left Chicago for good and moved to LA. He and Durk would continue throwing shots at each other for a few more months until they officially squashed the beef in August 2014. That month, Durk would tweet, "It's back. OTF x GBE. Chicago, we back at it. At Chief Keith, my brother. Hashtag 300. And Keith would confirm the truce, tweeting, "Hey, at Lil Durk, what you on, bro?" Durk later explained in an interview that they eventually talked for a few hours over FaceTime and they put it all behind them. Since then, there hasn't been too much drama between the two camps. Keith and Durk would collab on the track Decline in 2015 and haven't dissed each other again in music. So, this is one beef from the city of Chicago that actually has an ending. Even though Durk and Keith still don't seem to be that tight anymore, they seem to be able to do their own thing in the industry and stay out of each other's way.
Right.
Luckily, the beef never got out of control.
Right. There ain't no like real beef between Durk and Sosa no more like that, and I like that because that shit was dumb. I don't like seeing that shit.
And they were both able to settle their differences and move on with their career.
Especially since it was over just like could be considered petty shit. Like no one died over it, you know what I'm saying? No one died. Like it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that shit. So yeah, but it was definitely he was cheap. But Sosa was young back then too, man. So they were all young, and you gotta take that in consideration too. But yeah, that was Glow Gang versus OTF, a beef and O Block. But yeah, going back to that thing I said when I think Sosa said that Durk couldn't ban him from his block. No one can really ban anyone from the old block, you know what I'm saying? Cause like Durk got niggas who hate him there. Sosa got niggas who hate him there. It's just no matter who you is, you go to Chicago, you go to O Block at your own risk. You know what I'm saying? Like Durk said that. So yeah, it's weird, but yeah, man. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to like and sub. Make sure to comment down below what type of videos you want me to react to. And yeah, that's been it. Later.